There's a high fly ball, deep right field. Dome it back, looking up. Gone to Souvenir City. He drills one deep right field. Dome it watching. Goodbye. And he drives one to deep center field. Nobody's going to catch it. Stubbs around third. Bourne closing in on him. Stubbs scores. Bourne right behind him. A two-run double for Nick Swisher.
You want to talk about fun to watch?
From Progressive Field on a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon in downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball today. The Tribe will wrap up their brief three-game homestand trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Minnesota Twins. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe winning convincingly last night, 7-2 the final. And thanks in part to Nick Swisher, who's starting to emerge offensively now. He's hit in 12 of his last 16 games, and Ricky's driven in 8 over his last 8 contests.
Well, it would be very nice for Nick Swisher to start picking it up and getting hot. He hit a gapper last night into right center field, scoring a pair of burners for the Indians. 2 RBIs. That made it a 6-1 ball game, and they ended up going on, and he comes around to score, making it the 7th run, and he has hit .294 with 3 homers, 8 ribbies in his last 8 games, and let's hope that switch hitter can stay hot for the Indians.
Yeah, Jason Kitten has also broke out of his slump last night. So did Michael Brantley, so hopefully that means good things ahead for the Tribe and the Bats. The Indians try to win the series today behind Scott Kazmir, who's already beaten the Twins twice this year. Will he pitch well? Will the Bats continue to sizzle? Come on back and find out. The play-by-play is next. A sun-splashed afternoon in downtown Cleveland as the Indians try for their 71st win of the season against the Minnesota Twins here today. Let's take a look At the starting lineup for Ron Gardenhire's Twins: Dozier, Bernier, Willingham, Domet, Plouffe, Ramirez, Colabello, Thomas, and Florimone. All ready to go. Here's Dozier, steps in. Brian Dozier 1 for 6 in the series. His lone hit was a home run late in last night's game, with the Indians at that point already comfortably in command. Scott Kazmir's first pitch in there for a strike. No surprise there. Kazmir has struck out 107 in 119 innings on the year. Dozier fouls it back. It's 0-2. Kazmir's had success against Minnesota. He's pitched against them 3 times this year, and Rick, he's given up 3 earned runs.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. 1.42 ERA in those 3 games. He's 4-4 in his career against the Twins. I'm going to watch today that changeup in the slider, because in his last start he had the velocity. He was throwing 94 in his start in Oakland. He just didn't have a changeup or something to back the hitters off, or that good slider like he had in a 10-game stretch.
Swung on and missed. Good fastball away. Takes care of Dozier. 1 down here in the first.
Let's check out the Kia Indians defense today. Behind Scott Kazmir, it's Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Stubbs in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Swisher at first with Gomes behind the plate. You can see Scotty 7-6 on the year. .255 batting average. If you're going to get him, you get him early. In the first 3 innings, his ERA is at 5.21, and then it settles down to just a bit above 3.
Out of play. For whatever reason this year, Kazmir has pitched much better in day games than he has in night contests. His record in 15 starts in evening games, 3-5, 4.84 ERA. In 7 day games, 4-1, 3.46 earned run average.
Well, the Tribe's been playing well in day games too, as T-Bow let us know before the game. In the daylight, the Tribe plays well. Oh, right off the foot.
Indians are 26-17 on the year in day games, 15-7 at home.
11 out of their last 12, though.
Terry Francona looking on as Scott Kazmir tries to put away Bernier. Good fastball right on the outside part of the plate. Bernier fouling it back. Josh Willingham waiting on deck. Indians have won 4 out of 5, 8 out of 12. Twins have lost 8 of their last 12 games. In the air to center field, Michael Bourne over toward right center. He's got it, 2 down. With more on today's starting pitcher, Scott Kazmir, here's Katie Witham.
Well, lately, Matt, Scott Kazmir has felt like his stuff isn't as good because his arm feels tired. So he's fallen into a path where he's trying to throw it by guys instead of just trusting his stuff and making his pitches. Mickey Callaway told me the key for him today is to mentally shift his focus back and establish that fastball early.
Well, he's letting it fly early, Katie. He's throwing 94-95 in the first inning. That's what I want to see right there. Nice little breaking ball, and it had some bite to it. That's the pitch that separates it. Once you establish the fastball, you can throw that breaking ball, and he had a great changeup for a while.
The 0-1 pitch to Willingham. To take what Katie said maybe a step further, Rick, in the previous 2 years, Kazmir, between the big leagues, minor leagues, independent leagues, logged a total in 2 years, 103 2/3 innings.
Right.
He's at 119 this year coming into today's game.
Yeah.
You always talk about that jump in innings 1 year to the next.
Well, they talk about that with young pitchers, you know, coming off surgery or things like that. Even though Kazmir's a veteran, you're right. I mean, it will take its toll on your arm. But there's still a long way to go, and he's going to have some more starts, so you got to battle your way through it.
Willingham backs away.
I don't know if anybody feels good at this time of year. I don't care how many innings you have.
Gomes ran through them all, I think. They came to an agreement, and Willingham fouls it off to stay alive. Well, I think the smart thing the Indians have done with not just Kazmir, but all of their pitchers and even a number of their position players is they've managed them.
Yeah, you
a
push
day
them
off
back.
here, an extra day of rest here for the pitcher. You know, the bullpen. My goodness.
Well, there's a lot of work that goes behind that. Mickey Callaway and Francona have done a nice job.
Swing and a miss. Kazmir strikes out Willingham, and the Twins go 1-2-3 here in the first. The Indians are coming to bat. Lineup brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne in the top spot, followed by Nick Swisher, then Jason Kipnis. Carlos Santana batting cleanup, then Michael Brantley and Asdrubal Cabrera, Yan Gomes, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Drew Stubbs.
Mike Pelfrey on the mound, big right-hander, 6'7", 250 pounds. He has made 2 starts against the Indians this year, and he is 1-0. On the road, he is 3-6 this year with a 5.05. But if they get him any kind of run support, he has been very good for him. We'll see what happens today.
Up high with a fastball, Michael Bourne is 1 for 6 in the series, but he has scored a run in each of the first 2 games. Slashed out of play, 1-1.
Left-handers are hitting 278. Right-handers 332 against him this year. But he keeps the ball in the ballpark. Only 12 home runs in his 121 innings.
A little bit outside. Caught the corner that time to even it up. The 2-2 struck him out. 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
Let's take a look at the Twins defense behind Pelfrey this afternoon. Willingham in left, Thomas in center, Ramirez in right. Bernier at third, Floreman at short, Dozier at second, Colabella at first, Domet behind the plate.
James Hoy calling the balls and strikes. Jim Reynolds is at first. The crew chief John Hirschbeck at second. Quinn Walcott down at third. Nick Swisher takes a strike. Swisher delivering a big knock last night. 2-run double that essentially put the game on ice. Sends this one high in the air to right field. Wilkin Ramirez has that 2 down. Here's our great clip of the game from last night. Jason Kipnis. He snapped out of his slump in a big way. That was his second hit of the game. A line drive home run into the Twins bullpen. The second of the Indians' 2-out, 2-run homers on the night. Great clips. It's going to be great.
Yeah, that gives him 20 RBIs on the year against the Twins. And I'm sure he was excited to see the Twins come to town the way he was struggling. Got the base hit and then a home run. And then a friendly team came to town for him.
For Kipnis, that bouncing ball single that went right up the middle his first time up, he said that was huge because that snapped an 0 for 19 slump. And he said afterwards, I wanted to grab the base and pull it out of the ground like Ricky Henderson. That's how I felt.
Well, anytime you're going through a slump and you get a base knock, it feels good. But Pelfrey looks sharp.
Boy, he pounded the strike zone on the first. The Indians go 1-2-3, and we're scoreless after an inning. McDonald's now introducing 3 exciting new quarter pounders. And by Kia. Second inning, no score. It will be Ryan Domit, Trevor Plouffe, Wilkin Ramirez for Minnesota. Domit, a switch hitter, takes a strike at the knees. From a power standpoint, Ryan Domit's home runs all come from the other side of the plate. 10 of his 11 home runs have come batting left-handed. As a right-handed hitter, though, better average, 275 compared to 231 from the left side.
There's a base hit.
In the right center field, it's cut off by Drew Stubbs, and Domit is aboard to lead off inning number 2 for Minnesota. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. For Scott Kazmir, the Indians want to get him back on track after suffering a loss in his previous 2 starts. And for the Indians, the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Swisher, Kipnis, and Santana. They all swung the bat well last night. And hopefully they will continue that tear here today. Trevor Plouffe. He lines one to deep center field. Michael Bourne jetting back to grab it on the track for out number one. And Domit retreats to first.
First day in this series where the wind is sort of blowing out now like we're accustomed to seeing. It was blowing in the first 2 days and it was good to pitch. Ball might carry a little bit better this afternoon.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it looks like it's blowing in from left field, so I'm curious to see how it does react here this afternoon. It's not jetting straight out like it does when it really heats up. Wilkin Ramirez 0 for 5 in the series. Terry Francona said after last night's game, though, that he felt there were some balls that were really smoked that didn't get out of here. I mean, he said he thought the park played bigger last night.
Well, this is usually a legitimate park anyway. But last night was a nice night to pitch. For the fly ball, McAllister had quite a few of them.
Fastball strike. One on, one out here in the second. When the Indians have lost the first game of a series, but then come back to win game two, they've been very good overall. In fact, their series loss in Oakland was just their second on the year. When they lose the first one, win the second one. They're 6-2 overall this year, and it's usually not the way you draw it up on the chalkboard. But
well, you're right. You always want to win the first two and go for the sweep, but if you lose that first one, you can come back and win the next two. That's a good thing.
Down the right field line, but slicing out of play. Overall this year, Rick, in the rubber game of a series in which the Indians are playing a team in a 3-game series and making that third game a decider, they're 8-3. Two and two the count. Ramirez able to foul it back.
Fouled off a good changeup. And he has had a pretty good changeup so far.
Chris Colabello waiting on deck. 20 out of 23 pitches so far from Kazmir have been strikes. And another fastball in there, fouled away. Ramirez spoiling a number of pitches here in this at bat. Now the 2-2. Down and in. Full count. A win today would give the Indians 40 home victories on the season. Terry Francona's club, he went through a stretch recently where they did not play well here at home, but hopefully turning that back around in their favor. Payoff pitch, another foul ball.
Yeah, Ramirez wants to swing the bat. He's only walked 3 times on the year, and he's struck out 21 times in his 73 at bats. So he will chase it.
A throw to first here. Doma not really a base stealing threat, but
Perhaps he would take off on a 3-2 pitch. Though, given the strikeout numbers you just gave, I wouldn't think so. Well, he does. And it's popped in the air to right field. He slams on the brakes and quickly retreats to first, 2 down.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It is available on iPhone and iPad, and you can download it free today.
Chris Colabello. Big first baseman will bat with 2 down and a runner at first here in inning number 2. Colabello got the call back from AAA when the Twins put Joe Mauer on the 7-day disabled list. Mauer down with a concussion currently. Down the right field line. Slicing. Just foul. Wow, that was close. Colabello, he had the distance, and again, he's a big guy. He connects. They tend to go a long way.
Well, he let that ball track deep in the zone, and he sliced it that way, and it was a good thing it was slicing for Scott Kazmir.
There's a strike called. Nothing into the count. Slowly chopped toward third, but it's going to go foul.
They've been able to foul off a number of Kazmir pitches here with 2 strikes, 8 of them so far. We're only in the 2nd inning.
Mentioned Colabello got the call up with Joe Mauer on the 7-day concussion disabled list, and the Twins are hopeful that Mauer will be ready to rejoin the club Tuesday when they host Kansas City at Target Field. But Ron Gardenhire said that they'll be conservative with their decision-making process. Checked on a ball up high. One ball and 2 strikes to count here. Kazmir delivers, and a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. 3rd strikeout for Kazmir. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. No score.
Turn back the clock with a T-shirt giveaway. That'll take place Labor Day. The Indians will take on the Baltimore Orioles. It's a 4:05 start, and the first 10,000 fans receive a 1970s logo T-shirt. That'll be courtesy of Sports Time Ohio. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Here's Carlos Santana. Santana 3 for 6 in the series with a home run, and since moving into the cleanup spot, he has really taken to it. Santana's home run last night came in the first inning. Terry Francona said afterwards he absolutely crushed that ball.
Well, we were commenting on the swing last night, how nice and free and easy it looked, and it wasn't an overswing, and the ball just jumped off his bat. He was able to extend the arms, got a pitch away to his liking. Wasn't a good pitch if you're the pitcher. But
This
watch
was
the swing. See the balance?
He was asked after the game about the wind, and Santana said, I made good contact. Doesn't matter how much wind there is.
That's right. That's what you say. What wind?
Strike called. 2-2.
Yeah, wind. Was it windy last night?
Well, the wind was only affecting the balls that were hit literally straight away to the gap. And his ball was more toward from the gap toward the line. That 2-2. That one's popped up foul, maybe playable. Let's take a look. Bernier over near the dugout. No, can't quite get to it. Santana stays alive.
Up, hitting the gutter.
Santana leading off this home half of the second inning. Another pop-up foul. That's out of play. Now the 2-2. Got him looking. Third strikeout already for Pelfrey. Three of the first four Indians hitters have been rung up now.
I'll tell you what. He's painting. Take a look at it on our Nissan pitch tracker. A little movement going away. That's a nasty pitch if you're a pitcher. And there's not much you can do as a hitter and hope you foul it off, but that was perfect. So 3 out of 4 have gone down on the strikeout.
Well, Mike Pelfrey has not pitched that well this year, but in his 2 starts against the Indians, you wouldn't know it. 11 2/3 innings so far coming into today, giving up just 3 earned runs. But his overall body of work, not very good this year for the Twins. Pedro Florimon throws out Brantley, 2 down. The injury report today brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Starling Marte, the Pirates' leadoff man, is on the DL with a right hand injury. Jake Westbrook of the Cardinals is down with a back problem. Those two teams duking it out in the NL Central. Dead even at 76 and 53 when the day began, but the Cardinals have won 4 in a row. And meanwhile, Cincinnati, they're still lurking 2.5 out. It would appear, unless something really unforeseen were to happen, that all 3 of those teams, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Cincinnati, will make the playoffs in the National League this year. But just who wins the division and who the wild cards are is really still completely up for grabs. with just over 30 games remaining in the season. As Dribble Cabrera swinging a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I remember that last game earlier in the year. Minnesota was here. The Indians had won the first 2, and Pelfrey took the mound, who was struggling at the time. He came out and pitched a gem. 6 innings, 4 hits, and a run. They ended up getting a win on that Sunday getaway.
As Dribble Cabrera waited back nicely on that pitch and wrapped it right back up the middle for a 2-out single. And how many times have we seen the Indians this year with 2 outs and nobody on base get a base hit to keep the inning alive and then end up scoring?
72 to be exact. 72 runs.
Well, speaking of injuries, this time of year they pile up for everybody. Katie Witham, what's the latest on the Tribe's walking wounded?
Well, Matt, Ryan Rayburn's been out of the lineup nursing a left calf strain, and due to overcompensation, it's actually led to a little pain in his foot and his Achilles tendon. Now, I spoke with head athletic trainer Lonnie Soloff today. He said that Rayburn had an MRI before yesterday's game. It came back clean, and right now he's listed day-to-day, so hopefully we'll see him soon.
That's been a while. That just means another player short.
Yeah, it's
not bad enough to go on the DL, but, you know, we certainly could use him when we go to Atlanta because they're facing left-handers the first 2 games of that series.
Well, as Katie was talking about the overcompensation, it's the left calf that was originally the injury, but then it's the other leg that's bothering him now. That's where they had the MRI done. Meanwhile, really good news, Corey Kluber continues to get high marks in his rehab. Throwing the baseball again. Hopefully they can get him back out on the bump and throwing in a game here before long. 2-0 pitch. Gomes drives one. Center field, but Thomas cuts it off. Makes the catch to end the inning. 2 complete. No score here in Cleveland.
Homestand, you want to come out to the ballpark on September 6th. It'll be a Friday. It'll be Dollar Dogs. It'll be fireworks night. Tribe will take on the New York Mets. We'll be back into interleague play. Dollar Dogs all night. Fireworks presented by Wayside Furniture will be set to the rise of FM music. So go to Indians.com for your tickets.
3rd inning. No score. Cleet Thomas will lead off for Minnesota. Thomas trying to bunt, fouls it away. Thomas in the series 2 for 4. He's also drawn 3 walks.
Yeah, McAllister had 2 walks last night, and it was Thomas on both of them.
And then his third time up, it was a 3-1 count. And he finally retired Clee Thomas. Oh, 2. Got him looking. Boy, that was nice pitching by Scott Kazmir. Quick and tidy. 4th strikeout so far for the Indians left-hander.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's much sharper today than what he has been his last couple of starts. That's right on the outside corner on an 0-2 pitch. It doesn't get much better than that. Hit your target, get the call, and if you're a hitter, you take a seat.
Pedro Florimon, switch hitter. Number 9 hitter. Remember last night he fouled a ball batting left-handed off of his front foot, and he was down and he was hurting.
Yeah, he was down for a while, and then on the next pitch got a base hit.
And he's right back in there again today. 3 for 7 in the series with a double. Again, Kazmir just really able to move the ball in and out here today.
7 out of 9, 0-2-1-2 counts. So he is sharp.
How about 32 out of 38 pitches have been called strikes?
Love it.
There's a yank to third, and it skips by Chisenhall. Down into the corner it goes. Florimon's hitting to second base. Ball was hit hard, but Chisenhall unable to get leather on it. And a double for Pedro Florimon.
There's a tough hop. In between hop right there. Awfully tough to get leather on that one. It was hit well. So a double, 1 out double. Only the second hit for the Twins.
Brings up Brian Dozier. Struck out his first time up. Another first pitch strike. Little squib job off the end of the bat. Kazmir will take it himself. All the way to the bag. He'll turn back and check that runner at third. Florimon holds there. 2 down in the inning. Here's our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Now, in the American League, since the All-Star break, the Tigers, the Royals, and the Indians all in the same division. And then the White Sox.
I was going to say 4 teams. 4 out of the 5 right there. It's pretty impressive.
What's hard to figure there, Rick, and it must tell you how Kansas City's offense has completely bottomed out, because with that 2.98 ERA, the Royals can't buy it. They've lost 7 in a row.
Yes, they have. They're back at 500 now. They had that one little stretch of about 20 games where they played awfully well.
They were nipping at the Indians' heels. In fact, at one point they had jumped them in the Central Division standings for a day.
People were saying, here they come, they're in the playoffs, and watch out. And then all of a sudden, it's 7 straight losses.
1-0 pitch. Well, at one point we had heard whispers and rumblings that maybe Ned Yost would be shown the door. Then they got hot and went on that great run. Now they're going the other way again.
Yeah. Well, that's
life in the manager's hot seat.
And it's sort of strange because you're right. They've been fueled by pitching. That's a good pitch.
Wow. Take another look here.
I mean, that's a good fastball in. If it's in and you miss off the plate. It might be a little inside, but that's still a great pitch. That keeps that hitter looking in there.
2-2 the count on Bernier. The 2-2. Got him looking.
Got that one, didn't he?
Yes, he did indeed. 5 strikeouts for Kazmir, and we'll go to the bottom of the third, no score. Lonnie Chisenhall, Drew Stubbs, Michael Bourne due up for the Tribe. Chisenhall 1 out of 6 in the series. That one hit a double. And Mike Pelfrey misses outside for ball 1. Two and 0 the count. Lonnie takes a strike inside corner.
I don't know what it is with Pelfrey. He's 3-6 against the Central Division in the American League, but 1-0 against Cleveland, and an ERA 5.80. He's pitched very well against the Indians, so they've got to start talking to some other teams about how they go about hitting this guy. Maybe get him out of the stretch. They have one hit. That was a 2-out single by Cabrera. You get runners in scoring position, his batting average goes up to 298. And with runners on at 290.
Inside, he missed with the fastball and a full count. Pelfrey, a big guy at 6'7", 250 pounds, and the payoff pitch popped him right up. The shortstop, Pedro Florimon, makes the grab. One away. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. So Pelfrey, who is a big kid, he grew up in basketball country, too, in Kansas. Said he was always the tallest kid in his school, but he didn't play basketball. Baseball was always his game. Fouled back. When he did play basketball, he said, they just put me in the middle and said, you're the center.
Well, yeah, he looks
rebounds.
like he could muscle him in, go knock some people around underneath.
Drew Stubbs kind of caught in between on that swing, 0-2.
Well, that's one thing Pelfrey is doing. He's not afraid to pitch inside to both righties or lefties. He's gone in there that first time through the lineup.
The 0-2 offering out of play. Pelfrey, in his senior year of high school at Wichita Heights High in Kansas, had a terrific senior season, went 12-3, and then, of course, he went to Wichita State. Passed up on the Rays. The Rays had drafted him out of high school, but he said no thanks, and then the Mets made him a first-round pick in 2005. Speaking of shockers, good to see Eric Wedge back on the bench in Seattle after he suffered a mild stroke the day we were in Seattle to play the Mariners earlier this year.
Yes, good to see him back is right.
A little bit outside, 2-2. One out here, bottom of the third, then a 2-2 pitch to Stubbs. Down and in, full count. Payoff pitch. And he walked him. First walk of the game for Pelfrey, and the Indians have a one-out base runner now here in the third. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com. Where did the Browns go last night? Can the Tribe still make a run at the postseason? And get social with Indians Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Top of the order now, Michael Bourne. Bourne struck out his first time up.
That was a good walk by Stubbs. He was down in the count 0-2. So now you have some speed on the bases.
Ground ball right at the second baseman. Dozier to Florimone, back to first, not in time. But there are 2 outs in the inning. Well, Nick Swisher is swinging the bat much better of late. We highlighted him in our opening segment this afternoon, and with more on Swisher's sudden surge, here's Katie.
Well, Nick Swisher said today in the clubhouse to me the biggest difference is he finally feels healthy, Matt. He said his shoulder feels great for the first time in a long time, and when he tells his body to do something, it actually does it without any delay. On a side note, though, he said this is the most fun he's had on any team, and he really feels like this group of guys is knocking on the door to something special, and right now he's loving being a part of every moment of it.
Well, it was a big part of it last night. The Nick Swisher jersey giveaway night, he delivered with a big 2-run double. Certainly his words resonate with Indians fans that this thing isn't over yet. The Indians just 2.5 back of Oakland in the wild card race, and a lot of baseball still to be played. And this team has made tremendous strides from a year ago to where they are right now. And I think, Rick, it goes without saying that if this team is to get to a postseason spot, it's going to have to be the veterans like Swisher and Cabrera.
It's going to have to take everything they have.
Yeah.
Every player they have in uniform, no question.
A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bourne at first. Held by Colabello, and that is a little bit outside, 2-1.
Yeah, the first pitch in the at-bat, it looked like it was a strike, and he's gone the same spot both times, and the second time they're balls. They're hearing it now from the Minnesota bench. Looks like Gardenhire saying something. He got the first pitch. Swisher said something. Now, the same 2 pitches, and it's a 2-1 count. There. I'll tell you what, he hasn't changed his he hasn't deviated from that pitch selection. It looks like fastballs away, little 2 seamers, and he's hit the same spot.
Two. Up high, full count. Now Colabello will drop behind Bourne at first, so Michael will get a pretty good jump on the 3-2 pitch to Swisher. And as we saw last night, if Nick finds a gap, Bourne can score from first. He's off. And it's ball 4. So the Indians threatening with a couple out here in the third, as Jason Kipnis is now coming to the plate. Now, baseball, it can be a confounding game. When you look at Jason Kipnis, in the month of June, Jason hit .419. He hit everything in sight. He was, without a doubt, one of the hottest hitters in all the game of baseball. But lately, when he was in that offer, he said, welcome to the game of baseball quote when you're feeling great one day and the next it just snaps off and you don't even know how to hold your hands at the plate.
Yeah, it can come and it can go, and there's no rhyme or reason.
Now, Jason said, quote, for me, if I start thinking too much and thinking during my at-bats, it shows. You'll see me take fastballs down the middle and not even swing at them, and then I'll be thinking, why can't I pull the trigger on that pitch?
It becomes mental, is what it says, and it's all upstairs between the ears. You know, when you get through good cycles, you're up there, and it seems like you're seeing everything well, and everything you do just falls into place. And then all of a sudden, the baseball gods say it's not going to go that easy.
Well, when you're going well, you're probably not actually thinking. You're just reacting.
Well,
huh?
you are. Yes. I would say yes.
1-1 pitch. Good
or
cut.
When you don't pull the trigger on a pitch you should have, you don't question yourself about not doing it.
Here you go.
You know?
You're not overthinking it when you're going well.
Right. Okay, no big deal. I'm 0-1. So go get a base hit. It's just a different mindset.
Or you start, when you're not going well, you start thinking, he's going to throw a fastball. Maybe it's going to be a breaking ball.
Start guessing. Yeah, I mean, it's between your ears. It's like anything in life.
'50th pitch of the day for Pelfrey right here with 2 on and 2 out. And Kipnis bloops one left center field, dropping in a hurry. It'll get down. Bourne comes around third to score, and the Indians take a 1-0 lead on yet another 2-out RBI hit. This one from Kipnis, his 75th RBI on the year.
Well, that's the only hit in the inning, and a couple of walks, and they make him pay. That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. A 2-out base hit, and it's not hit that hard, but he takes the inside-out approach and bloops it into left center field. Bourne comes in to score, so they keep the inning going. Another 2-out run scored by the Indians.
So Michael Bourne crosses home plate for the 3rd time in the series, and now Carlos Santana with a chance to make it a big inning right here. He takes low ball 1. Chopped over toward the Twins dugout with a ball and a strike to count on Carlos Santana. Nick Swisher is at second base. Jason Kipnis runs well as at first. Santana looking to take aim here, the 1-1. And a line drive on one hop, flagged down by Dozier. And he throws him out from the outfield grass. But the Indians get a 2-out RBI hit from Jason Kipnis, and they lead it 1-0. inning. Josh Willingham, Ryan Domit, and Trevor Plouffe due up for Minnesota. Well, the third inning has been the magic inning for the Indians this year against Minnesota. In their season series, the Tribe has now outscored the Twins 12-1 in the third inning. They lead it here today 1-0 as Josh Willingham takes ball one outside from Scott Kazmir. Willingham struck out his first time up, one of 5 strikeout victims of Kazmir so far here today. 1-1 to count. There's a called strike to get Kazmir ahead in the count 1-2. Outside with the heater. Willingham, 92 hits away from the 1,000 hit mark in his career. A couple of months ago, played in his 1,000th career game. Full count now, 3-2. Payoff pitch is pulled foul. Pulled his hands in, and it's a fair ball down the left field line. And into second base with a leadoff double is Josh Willingham. Second double now today for Minnesota.
Went inside, and he loves it in there. I mean, that was in off, maybe off the plate, but he pulled the hands in. And see, that's why if you miss in there, you have to miss in off the plate. And that was not a bad pitch, by the way. I just credit that to good hitting right there by Willingham. Kazmir thought he could go inside with the fastball, but he covers the inside part of that plate pretty well.
Ryan Domit looks at a breaking ball and he bangs it foul. Domit, a native of the state of Washington, was a second-round pick of the Pirates back in 1999. Off the end of the bat foul, first base side. Domit comes into today batting .246 on the year. But over the course of his career, he's been a much better hitter than that. .272 career average coming into this 2013 season.
Boy,
fights that
the
one
same
off.
Thing.
Back goes Kipnis, and he makes the catch. One away.
I thought we were going to see an instant replay of his last at-bat, but Kipnis able to catch up to this one. He tied him up the last time on a 0-2 fastball in, and he got a base hit. This time he goes in there again. He doesn't quite get it. I don't know if that was a cutter, Matt, or just a straight fastball, but they see Kipnis able to go back and make the play for the first out and keep the runner at second.
Definitely looked like it had a little movement going in there.
It looked like a cutter to me. He doesn't throw many, but that was a good one.
Trevor Plouffe fly to deep center his first time up. Swing and a miss. I wonder how often, too, a pitcher might not intend to throw a cut fastball, but just at the end, you just cut it off a little bit and you end up
certainly
getting
could happen.
Some much-needed movement, even though it might not have been intended that way.
Well, the cutter is not thrown as hard as the fastball. It's a different grip. And he's thrown a couple about 88, 89 today. And that's why I call it. There you go. You're done.
Willingham being run back to second base. Cabrera drops the ball, throws it wide, and everybody's safe. Holy mackerel.
Oh, my goodness. An easy rundown that is blown up. Cabrera dropped the ball and then a bad throw. And the guy that hit the ball is on second base. They had him dead to rights. It was a terrible play there by Willingham. Cabrera gets it over to Chisenhall. Okay, you run him back, you make the throw. All right, he could have ran him another step, but Cabrera dropped it, throws the sidearm throw, and pulls Kazmir off. That's got to be an error on Cabrera. And then you let the hitter get to second base. So just a mistake made, an easy play botched by the Indians defense. Their 84th error. Not good. That's the one thing we said at the start of this series. You don't give the Twins any extra outs.
Well, now Wilkin Ramirez, who flied to right his first time up, is the batter. Low, ball one.
Well, let's see if Kazmir can pick up his defense. Get the pop-up or a strikeout. There it is. There's the pop-up.
Kipnis out. In comes Stubbs. Stubbs calls him off. Proper play there, and nobody can advance. 2 down.
Beautiful. Now the last one to go. Good job. That is a much easier play there for Stubbs. Even though Kipnis goes back, it's a sunny day. You've got the outfielder coming in with his momentum. It's not deep enough to score him anyway, but let him take it.
Mickey Callaway going to go out for a quick visit here in the 4th inning. We'll check out the AT&T trivia question. Who holds the Twins' rookie record for most RBI in a season since 1961? Rookie record, most ribbies, 1961. We'll have the answer later in the game. Chris Colabello struck out his only time up. Fastball strike inside corner. Threw it right by him. Good pitch by Kazmir, and it's 0-2.
They want it in. He got it up enough. I guess and in enough where he got the swing and miss.
The 0-2. Fastball swung out and missed. Kazmir picks up Cabrera, by striking out Colabello to end the inning. And the Twins strand a couple in scoring position. Philbin and a cast of former athletes and journalists that will talk about things you won't hear on other shows. Crowd Goes Wild, weekdays at 5 on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 available on all TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com to find out what channel Fox Sports 1 is on in your area. Michael Brantley as Dribble Cabrera, Jan Gomes for the Tribe here in the 4th inning. And Mike Pelfrey misses ball 1. Pelfrey misses outside to even.
Good job by Scott Kazmir to pick up his defense, get out of the inning.
Well, remember, Rick, there was a while there, especially coming out of the All-Star break, where we were saying every time the Indians make an error, it doesn't go unnoticed. It costs you a run, if not more. And lately, when they have made mistakes, either the pitching or the defense has come back and made up for it. That's a pretty good bolt by Brantley, but it's caught in deep center by Thomas, 1 away. And here is Asdrubal Cabrera. He singled his first time up. Asdrubal has just had one of those years where offensively he got himself into a hole and has really been unable to dig himself out of it. And defensively, I don't know that that one has affected the other, but defensively he hasn't been the normal Cabrera that we're used to seeing.
For me, he has made errors on easy plays. He's made all the good plays. You know, he's been okay. I mean, when you look at his numbers defensively, I mean, it's not bad. Not bad at all. You look at Cabrera, he has made 7 errors, now 8 errors. But I'm telling you, 5 of those have been easy errors that you would say, oh, my goodness, how can you do that? So he really has played well. It's just that he's made some bad mistakes at the wrong time.
And as we said earlier, a lot of those errors, when he's made them, they have cost the team runs.
And it's unfortunate because you're out there every day, and as many plays and situations as he's been in to save runs, when it does cost you, they're magnified.
No doubt. And I would never hang it on Cabrera.
I know that. But you know what? He knows. This has not been a good year for him.
Chopped right back up the middle. Off the glove of Pelfrey. And right to Florimon.
That's been his year. And you're talking about it. It deflects off the pitcher's glove and goes right to the defender. He's hit a lot of balls at people this year. That's one of those years he's going to have to write off.
Well, that's going to bring up Jan Gomes with 2 down here in the 4th. Oh, I've said it before, and just personal observation, I don't see him sulking or hanging his head, and it's easy to beat yourself up when you're having one of those years. And I'm sure he has his moments, but overall, he still brings a pretty good attitude, pretty good energy to every single game.
He sure does. He doesn't hang his head. You're right. Can't do it. You know, you can't explain it is what happens. And it's almost like you're on an island by yourself and you're fighting your way off of it, but your luck never changes. It's just a bad year for luck for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to explain it. When you're out there, and players have that. You can go a year, and your teammates understand it, and they'll just slap you on the back and try and pick you up. But it doesn't help when you don't see results.
Yeah. That's what Terry Francona was saying, Rick. He was talking about guys who take the ball the other way. And I think Jason Kipnis has been a great example of that. Michael Brantley's a great example of that. You take the ball the other way, you hit it hard the other way, but eventually you need to see results.
Right.
You need to see one of those balls flare in or go over an outfielder's head.
Doesn't matter how hard you hit it. Just let me see the hit. You want to see the end result, and that's what wears on you as a player.
Belfry just missed. He thought he had a strike call. No dice. It's a walk for Jan Gomes and another 2-out base runner for the Tribe. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pulaski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, let's go to New York where the Mets are hosting the Tigers. And in the top of the first inning, Miguel Cabrera, see ya. A monster shot to left, went into the second deck, put Detroit ahead 2-0. The Mets have scored a run since then, so it's 2-1 in the 4th inning. For Cabrera, his 42nd homer of the year, Matt.
Wow.
42. He's close.
42 homers, 128 ribbies.
He's keeping the heat on Chris Davis, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Well, you would expect that.
And how special of a year has it been for Chris Davis, who is closing in on the Orioles' all-time single-season home run leaders? He's only behind now Frank Robinson, who hit 49 back in 1966, and, of course, Brady Anderson, who had the 50 in 1996. 0-1 pitch, broke his bat, popped him up on the infield again. And the inning is over. 4 complete. It remains Cleveland 1, Minnesota 0. By the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse, rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. 1-0 Indians on top as we go now to the 5th inning. Swing and a miss by Cleat Thomas, who was called out on strikes his first time up.
He wasted no time in that first at-bat. 3 pitches, and he set him down. After he painted the outside corner of that first at-bat, comes back with a nice breaking ball in his second.
And there's a fly ball that's going to drop in center field, and Cleat Thomas, the leadoff single for the Twins here in the 5th. Time now for the AT&T U-verse Rewind.
Well, this is the play. Yeah, this is the play. A rundown, a normal rundown, falling out of the glove of Cabrera, and then his flip to Casimir. But I'll tell you what, Casimir picked him up with the pop-up, and then a punch out to get out of the inning, leaving 2 stranded. Good job by Scott Casimir. Wow.
They got him at first base. Close play. Very close indeed.
Barely. Florimon hustling down that line, and by the time they could get it and flip it, I mean, Kipnis had to put his foot on the base just when that ball arrives. The easy flip, and that was awfully close, and he's lucky the glove, Florimon didn't hit the glove and knock it out of it. Here it comes. It's there, and it's down in time. Good. That's a good, nice shot, boys. And a good play. Kipnis' foot did come down right before Florimon's.
Tying run in scoring position now for Brian Dozier. 0 for 2 on the day. Up high, ball 1. Good breaking ball. That drops in for a strike. A little bit outside. Casimir deals. Pops him up, and it's back and out of play.
Well, Minnesota in this series, they've struggled to get the runners in from scoring position. Just 4 for 25 in this series. They have struck out 11 times.
Dozier drives one to right field. That'll get down for a base hit, but a poor jump by Thomas, and he can't score. So Thomas only advances to third base. Dozier's at first with 1 out. Not sure if why he didn't get a better read on that.
That's knowing where the outfielders are. You got to see it's a breaking ball, and he doesn't hit it that well. You're in scoring position. He stopped thinking that Stubbs was going to get there. Whether you score or not, you should have a better jump than that. That's knowing where the defense is before the pitch is made. And, I mean, that's a base runner's job, is to look around. But he had a poor jump, and he can only move up 1 base. Good for the Indians because the double play's still alive. He only gets to third base.
Doug Bernier is 0 for 2 on the day. He's at the plate. The problem right now for Casimir with regards to getting that double play ball to get out of the inning, he's only had 2 ground ball outs if you don't count the sacrifice.
But you always got to give your pitcher an opportunity to make 1 pitch and get 2 outs, and he can get another pop up here.
Dozier with 10 stolen bases. He wants to make sure he doesn't take off and eliminate the possibility of a double play here.
Tough to do even with the left-hander on the mound because you more or less have to guess here. Dozier's not, like a great base stealer. He's just sitting over there. Look at this safety squeeze.
Swisher, no play. He'd have been better off coming home.
That was a heads-up play there. That was well done by the Twins. A safety squeeze. They waited and they read it. And Thomas was able to read it from third and continued to come. And by the time Swisher had the ball, he decides, I'm just going to go to first base and get the out. And nobody was there. See where Kipnis was? They're playing double play depth. He had no chance to get there. He started all the way. He had farther to run, about as far to run as the base runner did. So that was really a heads-up play by the Twins. And it was executed beautifully by Bernier. And there it is, tie ball game. First and second now, and one out.
So Kazmir back to work. Josh Willingham, the batter, doubled his last time up. And a swing and a miss. Close play, but the ball gets away from Kipnis.
Oh, he did late. Another error. He picked it up very late. Dozier stayed on that bag for a long time until he finally saw the ball. He must have heard Cabrera, somebody running after it. Second error of the game. Scotty, you know what? He's made good throws here, and that ball looked like it wasn't that bad of a throw. Remember the time in Baltimore?
Yep.
He tried a pickoff play, and he had him. Cabrera dropped it. That ball right there.
It was right on the bag. It hit the bag.
I know it was. That's where, look at Kipnis can't believe he went through, but he was trying to decoy the guy. Again, Kazmir will get the error, but I thought it was a pretty good throw.
Nothing into the count.
The Indians now with 85 errors.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Willingham. 7th strikeout for Kazmir. And that potentially could be huge, because now he's got a chance to get out of the inning.
That was a changeup. Right on the outside part. Good off-speed pitch. Gets Willingham to swing and miss. That's out number 2. Can he do it again?
Outside. 2-0 the count on Domit. Good block by Jan Gomes. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, in the first 2 at-bats, he was ahead of Domit, 0-2, 1-2. Now he's behind him with 2 outs, and he's going to make sure he's very careful here.
Doma went the other way with a base hit in the second inning. Takes a strike. It's 3-1. Kazmir delivers, and a foul back, full count. The runner at first, Doug Bernier, will be off with his 3-2 pitch. Kazmir trying to work through this inning and keep it a tie game. And the payoff pitch. It's ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
First walk of the day for Kazmir. So the Twins have him loaded.
Trevor Plouffe is 0 for 2. Hit the ball well his first time up. He flied out the deep center. His 2 hits in the series both went for doubles. And a swing and a miss. Kazmir reaching back here in this pivotal moment here in the 5th inning. Strike 2 called. A good fastball again at 96 miles an hour. And Scott is ahead 0-2. Dozier, Bernier, Domet, the base runners for Minnesota. Kazmir's 0-2 pitch, just a bit inside.
He's not messing around, is he? He's coming back, rearing back, and firing it. He knows what he has to do.
The 1-2 pitch. Line to third, ends the inning. Minnesota squeezes home a run here in the 5th to tie the game. But the Twins leave them loaded, middle of the 5th. On our score, bottom of the 5th inning. Drew Stubbs, Michael Bourne, Nick Swisher due up for the Indians. Stubbs walked his only time up. Outside corner, a called strike.
Boy,
Inside
that
almost
just missed him. Indians still with just 2 hits on the afternoon. Couple of singles, 2-out single in the second. Send along some birthday wishes today. Wanda Maley Moses of Astabula is turning 83. Bob Pliak of Parma is 77. His birthday is in a couple days, but happy birthday. Charlie Wilhelm is 78. And Ann Dagnall from Syracuse, a big Tribe fan, celebrating her birthday.
Stubbs takes it's inside and a full count. And a ball 4. He's walked again. This time it's a leadoff walk. Our game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Jason Kipnis with a 2-out RBI single in the third gave the Indians a 1-0 lead. It stayed that way until the 5th when a well-executed RBI bunt single for Bernier brought home the tying run. Now the Indians will try to regain the lead. Top of the order, Michael Bourne. Bourne 0 for 2. Bounced into a fielder's choice in the third, but eventually came around to score.
Boy, for a big guy, he gets rid of the ball to home plate in a hurry. I'm going to send out a special hello to Ashley and Mike Walker, taking in the ball game from Las Vegas today. Tribe fans enjoying it and watching it out in your favorite town, Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas. 2-0 count for Bourne. Here's the pitch, and he drives one to deep right field, but Ramirez makes the catch on the warning track. And back to first goes Stubbs. One away.
Well, you can't hit it any harder than Michael did right here. Put a good swing on it, but Ramirez tracks it down in right field on the run. Takes an extra base hit away.
Nick Swisher walked his last time up. Takes ball 1. Outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Now, once again, here today, it's a 1-1 ball game, but the Indians have only 2 hits.
I know.
And one of those hits drove home their only run. Drew Stubbs, the runner at first base, with 15 steals on the year. He's only been caught 1 time this year. Pelfrey's 2-0. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Pelfrey has walked 4 so far today, including 1 here in this inning. He's inching up on the 80 pitch mark.
Yeah, but so far the walks haven't hurt him because they haven't hit the baseball. A couple times they've hit it on the nose, but right into a glove.
That was generous. Called a strike.
Well, that's sort of what happened in his last at-bat. I mean, you look at this 3-0 pitch, and as a hitter, that's off the plate. But it keeps you in the batter's box.
Throw it away. And Stubbs gets run into a little bit there by Colabello, but no harm done. He's at second.
Well, you take it. They messed around and they threw over, and it was a bad throw from Pelfrey. He turns, and, well, it wasn't that far off line. Colabello has to reach over, and, you know, usually in a situation like that, you try to catch the ball. I don't know if he was worried about stepping on Stubbs or not, but the ball gets away. Anyway, Stubbs gets into scoring position, so the walk and now a throwing error has him at second base.
3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. And now there are 2 on with 1 out. And Jason Kipnis coming up. Out comes Rick Anderson, the Minnesota pitching coach. Kipnis with an RBI in the 3rd inning has driven in now 21 runs against Minnesota this year. That's the most of any player against a team. And of course the Indians have 3 games against the Tigers coming up next week in Detroit.
Yeah, and the Indians will finish with 4 in Minnesota to wrap up the year, end the year. All right, so their stop is complete. Anderson had to say what he has, and it'll give Kipnis another opportunity to drive in some more against the Twins.
Yeah, Kipnis comes up with 2 on and 1 out. Outside he misses, 1-0. Pelfrey checks the runner at second. He delivers, and Kipnis slashes it out of play to the left. Baltimore taking it to Oakland 5-1. The Orioles lead the A's. The Indians could manage a win here today in Oakland Falls. The Tribe would cut into that 2.5 game deficit in the wild card race. Pelfrey twice has stepped off the back of the rubber. Throw it by him, a ball and 2 strikes now. Pretty good fastball from Pelfrey, and he's always had, going back to his days with the Mets, he's always had a good fastball. Kipnis with good speed at first base or at second base and Drew Stubbs. Swisher at first with 1 out. And the 1-2 fights it off. Kipnis homered last night. Couple of hits in last night's game. The 1-2 pitch glanced off the bat foul.
Tried to start this ball inside and let it run back over. It was actually a good pitch where you could see Kipnis checked his swing and it just deflected off his bat. Sort of locked him up. That may not be a bad spot to go back in there again and try. If it's belled high.
Outside 2-2.
That was not a bad pitch either. He has very good movement on that two-seamer where it runs away.
The 2-2. Low and a full count. So Jason Kipnis with a very good eye at the plate, laying off some of those borderline pitches. Now he's forced Pelfrey into a situation where he's got to throw a strike, otherwise he'll load him up for that guy. Payoff pitch. He didn't go with the fastball. And a bouncer to first base. They'll eliminate Swisher on the force at second. And now first and third with 2 down. I thought for sure, Rick, he'd go to his fastball in that situation.
Well, that's why he knows. You go to a good hitter.
Took just enough off. Was it?
It looked like another one of those little two-seamers, man, where, you know, Kipnis, you know, is a good fastball hitter. And that's smart pitching right there. You don't give in to that guy. He tops it. They still have first and third.
Carlos Santana struck out and grounded out. Josh Reineke up in the Minnesota bullpen. Pelfrey closing in on 90 pitches for the afternoon. Santana takes ball 1. Santana was 3 for 6 with a homer in the first 2 games of the series. But here today, Pelfrey has been able to keep him contained so far. Santana had a chance to open the Indians' lead up in that 3rd inning with 2 on and 2 out, and he hit a ball hard. But where Brian Dozier is playing out on the outfield grass, it gave him enough room to he could cut it off. And they threw out Santana to end that 3rd inning. Pelfrey delivers and just off the mark, 3-0. Michael Brantley would be next as you look at the by-inning pitch count. 3rd is when the Tribe scored their only run. Trio pitch outside, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk of the inning for Pelfrey. Kind of a frustrating inning for both sides. If you're the Indians, it's frustrating because you can't square him up to do any damage, but he keeps giving you opportunities.
Take him.
Frustrating for the Twins because he's pitching well, but at the same time he keeps flirting with disaster.
Well, you just remain patient. That's his 6th walk today. And you know what? If he's not throwing strikes and he's nibbling, take your walk. Move the line along. Don't be a hero. That is the most walks this year for him in a ball game. That's 6.
Well, he's going to go back to the windup now with Brantley at the plate. Michael 0 for 2, fly to deep center his last time up. Out of play. Brantley has been Mr. Clutch for the Indians this year. One of the best in the league at batting with runners in scoring position. And with 2 outs, he has really been lethal. Right back up the middle, but it's fielded by Dozier, and the flip to second will end the inning. 5 complete. It's still 1-1.
The first 10,000 fans will receive a Michael Bourne jersey presented by Ameritech. And then also fireworks after the ball game will be set to the Woodstock theme.
Scott Kazmir back out here for the 6th inning. They'll have activity in the Tribe bullpen behind him. Wilkin Ramirez, Chris Colabello, and Cleet Thomas due up for Minnesota. Jan Gomes going to go out for a chat. Kazmir gave up 3 hits in the 5th inning, though one of those hits was the bunt single with an RBI by Doug Bernier. And the fact of the matter is he got out of it only allowing the 1 run.
There have been a lot of opportunities today by both teams, but both have left 7 stranded.
Bang to third. It's by Chisenhall. Down the line it goes. This will be extra bases for Ramirez. And once again, Minnesota has themselves a double. That's their 3rd double of the game. 2nd time they've had a leadoff double. and the fourth time they've had their leadoff man aboard.
That's a pitch that was middle in. I don't know if he wanted it there. It looked like a changeup, and he was able to turn on it and pull it down into the corner. And you got to keep a close eye on Kazmir because the last 2 innings he's had to pitch his way out of trouble. And he's going to have to do it again because the leadoff double by Ramirez. And Kazmir at 90 pitches right now.
Chris Colabello has struck out twice in the game. And a big swing and a miss. Kazmir lets it fly. Colabello fouling it out of play down the right side. Colabello has been to bat in 92 at bats, and he has struck out 32 times. Here's a line smashed to right field. That ball was scorched.
Well,
one down.
It was not where Kazmir wanted an 0-2 pitch.
Let's get the answer to the AT&T trivia question. Twins rookie record for most RBI in a season since 1961.
It's our buddy, Rich Rollins.
How about
Parma
that?
High School, Kent State
How
University.
About Richie Rollins?
Yeah, Richie had 96. Absolutely.
1962.
He's probably watching today. Rich, hello. He makes that trivia question once a year, I think.
Richie graduated the same alma mater as Marty Bokowitz.
Did he?
Yeah, how about that?
The esteemed Marty Bokovich.
He's steaming all right, but for reasons.
How many RBIs did he have?
For reasons we can't explain. Cleet Thomas singled and scored in the fifth inning for Minnesota, their only run. In the air to center field. Bourne back to make the catch. Ramirez will tag up and move to third, and now there are two down.
That's the difference. You don't move that runner with nobody out. That gets a run home right there on a sacrifice fly. If he is moved, he doesn't. The little things in a 1-1 ball game mean a whole lot.
Well, you look back in that fourth inning with the leadoff double by Willingham, and Ryan Doumit popped one up on the infield.
Yeah, Kipnis made a little running catch, but it's a matter of execution. And really, no team has been able to do it today. The Twins did when they scored their only run on a safety squeeze.
Fastball strike over the outside corner. I mean, Kazmir has thrown 73 out of his 96 pitches for strikes. And he's ahead 0-2 on Florimone.
He's got a question for James Hoy.
We've been calling it all day. And the 0-2. Up and away. Yeah, Minnesota's had their opportunities today. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 8 strikeouts for Scott Kazmir. The Twins get a leadoff double, but they can do no damage, and it remains a 1-1 game. on our score, bottom of the 6th inning. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Josh Renicky, right-hander, coming on from Minnesota. 53rd appearance of the year, 2-1, a 3.18 ERA. Mike Pelfrey went 5 innings. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits. His only problem was the walks. He walked a half dozen. And technically, that one of those walks did come around to score on him. Ball 1 down in the dirt to Cabrera. Cabrera fouls it back out of play. There's Mike Pelfrey in the Twins dugout. Kind of a weird game for him. He had a good fastball, but the 6 walks.
Well, that last inning, he had 3 walks in that inning. He wasn't going to give in. I don't think he wanted to throw to Kipnis. I don't think he wanted to pitch to Santana. But he did walk Drew Stubbs twice. When you look at it, your number 9 hitter, and that's when you figure that's a guy he's got to go at. He didn't do that today.
As Dribble Cabrera fouls it back. Count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Man, Cabrera strikes out, down and in. He went with that pitch. 1 down in the 6th inning. Let's go downstairs once again to Katie Witham.
Well, make sure you come out to the ballpark on Labor Day and you get here early. The Baltimore Orioles will be in town for a 4:05 game, and the first 10,000 fans through the gates will take home a 1970s Indians logo shirt, courtesy of Sports Time Ohio. If you need your tickets, you can get them right now online at Indians.com. Matt, Rick, back up to you guys.
I like the gray one, too.
That gray one, yeah. That's the one you're going to get.
I like it. Outside. And the count 1-1. Gomes hits one off the plate towards third. It's a fair ball. Throw across in time. Nice play by Bernier. 2 down. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, man, Yankees and Rays down at the Trop. This one was 1-0 Tampa until here in the 4th inning. Robinson Cano goes opposite field for his 24th homer of the year and ties the game at 1. They're now in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Nova against Cobb, the starting pitchers, still on the hill. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. 2 down here in the 6th inning, and Lonnie Chisenhall coming up. Upstairs to Chisenhall, who twice has popped the ball up onto the infield. Last time broke his bat. Takes down low, 2-0. Fastball in there, 2 balls and a strike. rope foul. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss, gets away. Doman picks it up, fires to first, not in time. The ball came loose anyway, and the inning stays alive as Lonnie Chisenhall reaches.
Well, he got him to swing at his pitch, but the ball trickled away from Doman, and by the time he picked it up, and he didn't look like he was in any hurry to throw it, gets into the dirt, and it comes off to the first base side. Chisenhall starts running, and by the time Doman gets it up, you can see Chisenhall hits it, and boy, and Colabello just boxed that ball, never even caught it, trying to stretch.
I'll tell you what, there's a play, Rick, where let's say had Lonnie not been at the bag, I don't see why you couldn't have given a wild pitch and an error.
Yeah, he got down there and beat it out. And he was, well, Doman didn't really get after it as fast as he could. He thought he had plenty of time to get him, and it was bang, bang at the end.
Kind of like double jeopardy. I don't know that you can really do that, but that was good hustle by Lonnie at the end of the day. Keeps the inning alive, and now Drew Stubbs is swinging a miss. Stubbs has walked twice, but he has not come around to score yet. Though, because of his walk in the third inning, Michael Bourne, who reached on a fielder's choice, did come around to score. There's a fastball strike over the outside corner. Indians will head to Atlanta tomorrow night. Braves shutting out St. Louis 3-0. Atlanta trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. In the dirt, Doman keeps it close enough that Chisenhall cannot advance. Stubbs awaits the 2-2. And it's outside, a full count. So Chisenhall will get a head start. Renicky ready, he rocks and deals, and it's ball 4. So the Indians will once again, with 2 outs, have something brewing here, but they're looking for a hit. They have just 2 in the game. A 2-out single by Cabrera in the second, a 2-out RBI single by Kipnis in the third. They've had a slew of base runners, but they need somebody to find a gap.
Yeah, you just need a hit right now with a runner in scoring position. Both teams have not been able to get it, more so Minnesota than the Indians with opportunities.
You know, Michael Bourne barreled one up his last time to the plate, but he hit it to deep right field, and Wilkin Ramirez was there to make the catch. Swing and a miss.
I mean, you look at the Indians last inning, they had the bases loaded, left the base, it was all on walks. And in this inning, he had 2 outs. He strikes out Chisenhall for the 3rd out, but it's a wild pitch. He gets on and then walks Stubbs, so they have another opportunity. They're getting 4 outs in this inning.
Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caleb Thielbar getting loose. Morning with a good count now. Outfield shading him a little bit the other way toward left. And he chops it to first. Colabello takes it himself. 2 more stranded for the Tribe. 6 in the books. It's still a 1-1 game. With 18 locations in Northeast Ohio, and by Levin. Here's the view from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. Lovely day here in downtown Cleveland, where the Indians and the Twins are deadlocked at 1. Scott Kazmir's day is over after 6 innings of work. He allowed 1 run. But he'll give way to Cody Allen. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Allen's 59th appearance, 5-1 at 2.24 ERA.
Allen went a third of an inning in Friday's game. Coming on again here today in a tie ball game going into the 7th. The bullpens are going to decide this one.
Now Brian Dozier, Twins leadoff man, 1 for 3 today and 2 for 9 in the series. Cody Allen fires, and it's fouled right back. Bounced it in there. 2 balls and a strike. Right back over the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brian Dozier, leading off this 7th inning for Minnesota. Little bit outside.
Good pitch, just off the dish.
Down low, he walks the leadoff man. Guest host Andre Knott will be in the chair for All Bets Are Off tonight at 7. He'll recap the Tribe's weekend series against Minnesota, plus break down the Browns-Colts game from last night. All Bets Are Off tonight at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio. Doug Bernier, his safety squeeze bunt drove in the only run of the game for Minnesota. They're looking for a bunt again. The ball gets away from Swisher. Headed for second is Dozier. The Hail Mary throw goes into left field, and there to back it up is Michael Brantley. So once again, some sloppy play here by the Indians today. And
it's a 4th straight inning where they've had their leadoff man aboard. Now this one coming the walk. Now on the pickoff play, the ball gets away. It'll go for their 3rd error on the afternoon. Let's check it out. Did it short hop, swish over there? Hard to tell from that angle.
Well, on these monitors, it's hard to see up here.
And
the error is given to the pitcher.
Okay, 2nd error given to a pitcher today. Again now, Minnesota with that man on second and nobody out.
Now they're looking for a bunt for sure. Popped it up in the air, and it drops foul harmlessly there. 0-1.
Let's look at that throw from here. Boy, that looks like Swisher could have had it. Huh? That was like a backhand. I don't think that ball hit the ground. They may have to look at that one again. That looked to me that Swisher was able to make that play.
Didn't look like it was all that bad of a throw. The thing that's hard to tell up here is sometimes those pitchers, they'll throw them a sinker.
Well, it doesn't matter if they sink it or
Bunt
not.
it in the air. Swisher's got it in fair territory, and the ball kicks free, and everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. 1st and 3rd. Nobody out now here in the 7th inning.
That was a collision. He took the legs out from Bernier. Going down the line like it was interference or something. The umps are going to meet. I mean, I want to see what happens here. He goes down, and he was going after the ball. He's trying to get away. So they are talking about it. We'll see what happens. The runner gets to 3rd base. See how they score it. Got to be a base hit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Swisher knocked it out of the way. It's a base hit. He's entitled to the baseline.
I didn't see anything where the runner went out of his way or intentionally.
No, he didn't. To try and hit. He's just getting an explanation on this thing.
It looked to me like the home plate umpire, James Hoy, was pointing to first base as if even if they'd have thrown him out, he was going to be awarded first base.
Well, he gets his explanation. Not a whole lot to say. Let's look at this again. Swisher he was going to slide for that ball and pick it up. And he's out of the way now. And you see, he ends up putting his head down and actually interferes with the base runner. Tried to block him. It's going to go as a base hit anyway. So they have first and third now, nobody out.
And Josh Willingham, the batter. Swing and a miss. Cody Allen going to have to try to pull a Houdini act out of this. Keep it a tie game. Bounce foul, third base side. And he's got him 0-2. Might be a good spot here for a fastball right above the letters. We've seen Willingham. He went down and took the breaking ball to right field in the series opener. That was a backbreaker against Cody Allen.
Yes, he did when he had 2 strikes on him. You're right. Tried to get him to chase that one. Which is not a bad idea. If you're going to throw him that breaking ball, throw it and see if he will go after it. He didn't.
Go ahead, run at third base. Nobody out, 1-2 count. There's the high heater, but he wouldn't chase. 2-2. Interesting to see, should Willingham pop one to the outfield based on just how deep he gets it. If Dozier would challenge the arm of either Brantley or Stubbs on the corners. 2-2. Well, that's not going to be deep enough. This is Kipnis on the infield. And that's a big first out now for Cody Allen.
Yeah, they have had a lot more opportunities to drive them in than the Indians, and another time they keep it on the infield. They will have another opportunity with first and third, though. And now this time Domet will be hitting from the left side of the plate.
Doman 1 for 2 today with a walk.
Five times today Minnesota has had their leadoff man aboard. The last 4 innings, they've had him at second. And opportunities, and they haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Doman fouls it right back out of play. A little bit outside. 1-1. Twins have had a runner at third base with less than 2 outs 8 times. And only in the series, and only the safety squeeze bunt hit has been successful for them.
How about that?
Tap foul.
No, you look at it two ways. The Indians have done a nice job getting out and making quality pitches to get out of the jams, and it's lack of execution when you look at the Twins, and they're saying, we can't execute when we have the opportunity.
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
Right. How do you want to look at it? It doesn't matter. They haven't scored. They still have one run. And right now, Allen has a chance to get the second one out and keep them there.
The 1-2 pitch. Check
Yes,
the
he
swing.
did.
Did it go? He did, and
Yes,
they
he
punch
did.
him out. Quinn Walcott, the third base umpire, giving the signal, 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, you got him to chase that one. Good boy. Well, that's what happens when you get ahead. Here's the sequence that Allen attacks Domet with. He's going to get ahead of him. There's a good fastball. He fouled off down and away. He went and missed away with that fastball. Little breaking ball to get him to swing at, and then he got him to chase one in the dirt. Great sequence there for the strikeout.
Mickey Callaway calls the troops together on the mound before Cody Allen faces Trevor Plouffe, who is 0 for 3 here today. This has been one of those games that has been just frustration, I think, on both sides. For the Twins, frustration because of all of the opportunities they've let slip through their fingers. And on the Indian side, it's frustration because they're just unable to get hits in this game. They have just the 2, and then defensively, they've made some blunders.
Well, when you get away with how the Indians have looked today defensively, and as many guys they've had on base in scoring position, and they've only given up 1 run, it's luck.
And even with all of that, it's a game that's still there to be won for either team. Welcome to the Central Division. 0-1 pitch. Fisted, back out of play. I mean, it's been that way for the last several years, though. The Central Division has been a dogfight. Doesn't matter what the records are. I mean, this year, the Tigers have owned the Indians. But last year, the Indians had a winning record against Detroit, and they were the juggernaut of the league. Go figure. This year, Minnesota is having a season that they just as soon forget about, but they fought the Indians tooth and nail every game. The 0-2 pitch. Popped back out of play. First and third, 2 outs, 0-2 pitch. A little bit outside. Cody Allen delivers the 1-2, and a swing and a miss. He strikes him out, and the inning is over. What a job by Cody Allen. Another crisis averted here this afternoon, and we've reached the 7th inning stretch, still tied at 1. Stretch time brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. Well, I tell you what, been a beautiful day here at the ballpark. And Scott Kazmir pitched well enough to have a W next to his name. But the Indians haven't been able to score other than the one run. And that's where we are, 1-1 ball game. Kazmir today with 8 strikeouts and 6 innings of work. He only walked one. He gave up 7 hits, scattered them around, pitched out of a couple of jams. 7th inning now, bottom half, Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Santana. Swisher, a couple of walks on the day. And that's outside.
This guy's having a hard time throwing his breaking ball for a strike. Renicky, he has a good one when he's been able to throw it for a strike. But he's continued to try, and he's missed with a few of them.
Two ball, 2 strike count. And that's out of play. Slow breaking ball, and that wasn't even close. Full count.
Well, sitting with one pitch, man, right here. You got to go. You got to think fastball.
And Swisher waits on it, hammers it down into the corner. He's on his way to second. He's going to have to hurry. Here's the throw, and he is out at the bag. Diving tag by Dozier erases Swisher. He doesn't like the call by John Hirschbeck, the crew chief.
Tell you what, it was a pretty good throw by Ramirez in play on that one hopper off the wall. I mean, when you're coming out of that box, you automatically think double. And he turns, and he was going to challenge him, but he gets that ball one hop off the wall, and I mean threw it in the air. And, you know, the play made by Florimon, he goes out to get the ball to run back to apply the tag instead of waiting for it. So that ended up being pretty good on their end. But Swisher thrown out, and Francona again.
Oh, there's a pitching change going on, so this isn't holding up the game. Ron Gardenhire has already gone to the Minnesota bullpen. He wants a left-hander to face Jason Kipnis, so we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. Still tied at 1 in the bottom of the 7th. And Nick Swisher led off this inning with a hit, tried to stretch it into a double. Here's a couple of replay looks.
Yeah, and it looks like from that angle he did tag him. We got one other angle we can look at. And Swisher goes in, tries to pull that right arm away, and there's the tag before Swish can get to the base. I mean, Florimon really made a good effort and good play to go out and get that ball. Swisher doesn't believe that he tagged him on that hand before he reached the base, but it was awfully close any way you look at it, and Hirschbeck was right there on top of it.
Caleb Thielbar to face Jason Kipnis. Lefty-lefty matchup. Kipnis drove in the Indians' only run back in the third inning with a 2-out RBI single. Fouls that one back, 1-2 the count. Up high with it. Thielbar, the left-hander, goes at Kipnis with a breaking ball, and it's a full count. Carlos Santana waits in the on-deck circle. Home half of the seventh, tied at 1. 3-2 pitch is fouled away. Pop back, out of play. Three-two almost hit him. And it's ball 4, so the Indians have a one-out base runner now for Carlos Santana. Golf pro Jimmy Hanlon takes you inside the golf zone tonight at 9 on Sports Time Ohio. Get golfing tips and find out the latest news from the PGA Tour. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon tonight on Sports Time Ohio. We were watching Tee It Up Ohio before the game today, and we saw Jimmy look like Dorf on golf, didn't he? He was standing. Well, he wasn't standing. He was kneeling on a towel, and he was taking a driver's swing.
Looking like he was trying to get some extension through that swing.
Carlos Santana takes a breaking ball for a strike. Santana has struck out, grounded out, walked his last time up. One ball, one strike. The Indians trying to win the series, but they've got to break the stalemate here first. 1-1 score. Santana looks at a ball up high. It's 2-1. Ron Gardenhire's ball club here today out hit the Indians 8-3. but they've only managed 1 run. It's interesting that you can out-hit a team 8-3. They've left 10 on base. The Indians, with just the 3 hits, have left 9. Tribe's had some walks, but they've been unable to take advantage of those.
It's been a game of opportunities for both teams, and nobody has been able to really take advantage of it yet.
Kipnis, 23 stolen bases on the year.
Yes.
He sure did. 2-2.
See, he just got a little anxious here. He comes back with the 2-1 count, thinking he was going to get the fastball, gets a breaking ball, and just couldn't check it. Evens the count at 2. And here you don't take a chance with Santana hitting, stealing a base, because that left-hander, you're going to have to guess on him. You don't want to get picked off. You've already made 1 out on the bases.
There's a ball fought off and drilled into center field. Kipnis will stop at second base. And the Indians have 2 on with 1 out. Michael Brantley will be coming up.
He comes back and he does. He fights off a high fastball and puts it into center field. Not hit all that well, but perfectly placed. So with 2 hits in the inning and a walk, they still have 1 out, but first and second now. Tribe with another opportunity. Maybe this is what Michael needs. Face a left-hander. Let him concentrate on staying in. He's been hitting the ball sometimes okay, but he's been in a little prolonged slump for himself.
First pitch in for a called strike. Brantley second only to Miguel Cabrera. Batting with runners in scoring position on the year. This one's popped in the air, though. Shallow left. Florimon, the shortstop, makes the grab. 2 down. Well, that's going to leave it up to Asdrubal Cabrera, who is 1 for 3 on the day. Casey Fiend getting loose. Asdrubal singled back in the second inning. He has grounded out, struck out since then. Cabrera trying to deliver here in the clutch in the bottom of the 7th to break this tie. Swings the ball down and in to even the count of 1-1. Tigers holding on to a 4-3 lead in the 9th inning in New York against the Mets. In the wild card situation, Oakland getting drilled by Baltimore 7-1. Cabrera fouls it out of play, 1-2. 1-2 delivery is up high to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jason Kipnis, the go-ahead run at second base. Santana down at first. In the dirt, and a good block by Doman. Full count. Big guy's done a nice job back there today. He's done primarily, seems like whenever we've played him, he's been in the outfield. Of course, when you've got Joe Mauer healthy, he's going to be back there most of the time anyway.
That's right. He may give him a breather once in a while on a day game, but that's about it.
Runners will go on the 3-2 pitch, and it's fouled right back. Cabrera, his 3 hits in the series, 1 of them went for extra bases, a double. Right now, you just take a single. Again, the runners will be off. And
yes,
Cabrera went too far, and he strikes out to end the inning. The Indians strand 2 more, and after 7, we're still tied at 1. Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Stay tuned for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It comes your way after the ball game right here on Sports Time Ohio. Joe Smith coming out to pitch now for the Indians. After Cody Allen worked a scoreless 7th inning, Smith on for the 56th time this year. 4 wins, a loss, in the ERA of .254. And he'll be dealing with Wilkin Ramirez, Chris Colabello, and Cleet Thomas. At least they're the scheduled hitters. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Wilkin Ramirez. It will be Chris Herman. Herman, a left-handed bat, coming off the bench here in the 8th inning.
Herman had a couple of doubles in Friday's game. 0 for 4 last night.
So Chris Herman takes aim. As a pinch hitter, 1 for 5 with an RBI. little bit outside, 2-1. Ran it in off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. That's out of play. See Justin Morneau in the on-deck circle. Ron Gardenhire's going to play his cards here in the 8th. Strike 3 called. First pinch hitter takes a called third strike, and that's out number 1.
Well, he hit his location he was looking at right here. That fastball that comes back over the inside corner. Nicely done. Gets the strikeout.
11th strikeout for Indians pitching on the day. And now Justin Morneau, who bats for Chris Colabella, who was 0 for 3. Morneau for the year 0 for 3 in a pinch hitter's role. But he leads Minnesota with 15 homers and 72 runs batted in. Again, it's outside, 2-1. Smith comes back to even the count with a good fastball there, 2-2. Does he dare try to go in and lock up Morneau as he did Herman? That fouled right back.
Boy, you better get it in. You know, this is the one guy where you don't want to mess around down and in, where he could take one swing and put one on the board. I mean, it's okay to go in there. You just better make sure it's in and off. Can't make a mistake. He got away with one there, it looked like.
Liner towards Kipnis, and it goes off the glove. Morneau is aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
That's an error, their 4th error.
Boy, it has been an oddball game.
Yeah, it really has been. For one that the Indians have to go out and you'd love to see him win. There's a ball right there, and Kipnis right in his tracks. Right there, shoulder length. He looks at his glove. He can't believe it. That's the 4th error by the Indians in this ball game, and that's a season high, isn't it? Ties a season high.
Clete Thomas, the 1-for-3 on the night, or on the day. It might be night before long. Thomas with 3 hits in the series, and he's shown a patient eye at the plate at times, and he's got a 2-0 count here.
He's had 2-0 counts or to all at least 2 ball counts to all 3 hitters he's faced.
7 balls, 7 strikes thus far for Joe Smith. He deals, and it's hitting the air pretty well to deep left field. Back is Brantley. Ball's not carrying that weight today, though. 2 down. Let's go back and look at our keys to the game. brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. Casimir pitched very well. And the Indians, 2, 3, 4 hitters. Well, they're involved. But the Indians just haven't been able to muster up much offensively here today. And neither have the Twins, though the Twins have had more opportunities. On the day, the Twins have gone 3 for 17 with a runner in scoring position. The Indians 1 for 7. Good pitch. Gets ahead 0-2. Florimone awaits the 0-2. Chopped foul, first base side. Two-strike pitch. A little bit outside. Florimone showing a good eye. Wouldn't chase. Went out there again. Missed again. 2-2. Joe Smith wants a new baseball.
That's what he does. He showed him out there the good sinker down and away that he didn't swing at. So he says, well, this time I'll try a slider that comes up the back door to try to hit that outside corner. But couldn't do it.
Ran it in on his hands and able to foul it back as Florimone. And the battle continues. Morneau, the runner at first base, and Florimone again with a foul back. Upcoming the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Tapper up the middle. Kipnis tries to beat him to the bag and does not succeed. Morneau gets in with a feet-first slide. John Hirschbeck calling him safe. And the inning continues now for the Twins, as Joe Smith will have to reach down deep and go get one more hitter now.
You know, with John Hirschbeck, I give him credit. He's right on the play. And I thought Kipnis, if he didn't flip it to Cabrera, he was going to go to first base. But Florimone's very fast, but he decides he can beat the guy, and Morneau beat him. He was safe. He decided to go to, I'll tell you, this is a weird game. The Indians' defense has been terrible today. It's unbelievable they're still in this game at 1-1 with 4 errors.
They're giving him a hit on that?
Yeah. That's exactly what they did.
It's got to be a fielder's choice, doesn't it? Well, whatever. 2 on, 2 out. Brian Dozier is the batter. He's got a single in 3 trips, walked his last time up. Pitch over the inside corner, a called strike. It's 0-2 on Dozier. Little half swing fly ball on the infield, and Cabrera backpedals to make the catch. Joe Smith dodges a couple of weird bullets here in the 8th, and it's still a 1-1 game. One, bottom of the 8th inning. Fourth pitcher today for Minnesota is the big right-hander Jared Burton. He's coming out for the 60th time this year. Solid .289 ERA. He'll be facing the bottom third of the Indians' order. And now defensively for Minnesota, Justin Morneau stays in the game at first base. And out in right field, Chris Herman takes over for Wilkin Ramirez. So here we go to the 8th. Yan Gomes to lead it off. Jason Giambi has moved to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Lonnie Chisenhall. Burton delivers, and Gomes takes a fastball for strike one.
You know, this Minnesota bullpen on the year has thrown the second most innings of anybody. Toronto leads the way, but you give them credit. They've done a nice job. They have the second lowest ERA in the league as well. So they've logged their innings and also have done their job.
Up high. Bounce to short. Routine play for Florimone. One away. It's going to bring up Jason Giambi, who will pinch hit for Lonnie Chisenhall. And when we were in Minnesota, Jason Giambi came off the bench with a huge pinch hit home run.
Yeah, that's when they were down. That was a big hit. Minnesota looked like they were going to win that game, and the Indians came back, made a statement. Well, he'll pinch hit for Chisenhall.
Trying to remember, Arch, was he in the lineup when he hit that home run, or was that a pinch hit? He's got 2 pinch hit home runs on the year.
That was a game we were trailing, and he came back. I'm trying to think if he pinch hit there.
This is a pinch hit situation as Giambi takes aim against Burton. Outside. That was not a pinch hit appearance, that home run he hit in Minnesota. He was in the lineup that day. Here's the 1-1. Fouled over off the face of the Twins dugout. Rip foul on the right side. Giambi had a walk-off home run July 29th against the Chicago White Sox. .437 career home runs. Looks at a ball up high. And it's 2-2. The 2-2 is low and a full count.
That's the one thing about Giambi. He will also take the walk. You know, in the opportunities he has when used as a pinch hitter. He will not offer it too many pitches outside the strike zone. He walks, then we'll probably see Aviles come in to run for him.
Payoff pitch. Drilled foul again. Oh, he hammered that baby. So Giambi with a good pinch hit appearance there. This will be the 8th pitch that he has seen. They want to go off speed. And they strike him out. 2 down. The in-game box score brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. Jason Kipnis with the RBI single way back in the 3rd, the only run of the game for the Tribe. Drew Stubbs will be coming up. He's walked 3 times. And only once has he advanced beyond first base. Wow. He's hearing it. First base umpire Jim Reynolds hearing it from the Indians dugout. He called this a strike, and that was not a strike. He did not offer it that. There's a high fly ball, deep center field. Thomas back on the track, at the wall. He's out of room. It's out of here. Drew Stubbs. Check that. Straightaway center field, a solo blast. His 9th home run of the year. And the Indians take a 2-1 lead. Wow. On a day where seemingly nothing would carry out of this ballpark, Drew Stubbs out of the 9-hole blasted one to straightaway center field, clearing the fence and putting the Tribe in front.
Now, you talk about getting on top of a high fastball. He certainly did that there. That ball didn't, I don't even know if that was a strike. But boy, they got the barrel of the bat to the baseball and it carried. And the Indians lead it now 2-1.
Now Michael Bourne, 0 for 4 on the day. How about that for clutch? 6 out of his 9 homers, 7th inning or later.
Love it.
Michael trying to walk it off. Bourne getting a new piece of lumber. Boy, Drew Stubbs. He's a big guy. The one thing we noticed way back in spring training, especially if you hadn't seen a lot of him play, and we play the Reds once a year in interleague, so we'd seen him on a handful of times, but he's a big guy, very athletic, but he's got good power. It's just that you think of him, you know, Cincinnati had him in the leadoff role, and it just never quite meshed.
Well, yes, he's not a leadoff hitter because his on-base percentage doesn't, you know, work out that way. But
yeah, he's not a guy that's going to hit it on the ground a lot. He does, and he's got good speed, but there's a line drive up the middle, and that gets through. And Michael Bourne's going to turn and burn. He's going to try for 2. Here's the throw. Safe. Florimone going to beg to argue with John Hirschbeck. Well, I don't think anybody's agreed with anything Hirschbeck's called today.
Well, he's had a lot of close plays at second base. I will say that. And Bourne, after falling one off his foot where you didn't think he was going to be able to walk, he took off. After Dozier knocked that ball down a little bit, you can see it looked like Thomas didn't expect him to go to second base, and he went flying into the bag. Let's see the tag. He's safe. There's the foot on the base. He was safe. Florimone tried to tag him.
Ow.
Well, yeah, because he got a spike in the knee is what happened.
Straight hustle double for Michael Bourne, and now Nick Swisher with 2 down. He had a base hit his last time up. He tried to stretch a single into a double and was thrown out at second base. And there's a line drive base hit into right field. Bourne's coming around third. He'll be waved home. The ball's muffed by Herman. The Indians score 2 here in the 8th. They lead it 3-1. Swisher with RBI number 46 on the season. So the homer by Stubbs puts the Indians ahead, and now, since then, a double and an RBI single, and they've added another run.
Well, he didn't spot him anything. It was a changeup off the end of the bat, but he gets it into right field. Herman just coming into the ball game after he pinch hit. I don't think he would have had any chance to get Bourne anyway. He would have scored easily. Swisher drives in the run. So 3 hits in the inning.
And the Indians on 6 pitches score 2 runs after it seemed like they might never score again. After Jason Kipnis got the 2-out RBI hit back in the 3rd inning. The hustling double by Michael Bourne, though, creating this run here in the 8th inning. Just another example of how you can't always look at just the stolen base total in terms of how does speed impact the game. Check swing foul, 2-2. Burton taking a long look in. Now he's ready. In the 2-2. One hopper to short. Florimon going to go a long way to first. And the inning is over. Tribe comes back with 2 here in the 8th. Drew Stubbs goes deep. Michael Bourne races home. 3-1 Cleveland. Stay tuned for Indians Live. Coming your way next, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. On the pitch for the Indians is Chris Perez. He'll be trying to nail down his 21st save of the season. Mike Aviles into the ballgame now at third base. Perez will be facing Doug Bernier, Josh Willingham, and Ryan Domit. They're due up for the Twins here. And a strike called. In there, strike 2. Shoots it out of play to the right. Chris Perez trying to put Bernier away. Here's a fly ball to center field. And Michael Bourne makes the catch, one away. Kansas City Royals are trying to stop a 7-game losing streak today, but they had a lead against Washington. Nationals have come back to tie it up 4-4.
A lot of close ball games. Yankees and Tampa also tied at 2. That's late in that ball game in the 8th.
Baltimore still putting it to Oakland. That potentially good news for the Indians. But they've got to hang on here first. Ball 1 to Josh Willingham, who was 1 for 4 on the day. He doubled back in the 4th inning. Detroit wound up blowing out the Mets today, 11-3 the final in that game. One. A little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. Chop to third. Mike Aviles just into the ball game. Sets and throws. A little high, but Swisher comes down on the bag, and Poe goes around the oncoming Willingham for out number 2.
Yeah, right down in the middle of the bag after he elevated for that throw.
Down low, ball 1. Outside, he missed. And it's 3-0. If he puts Doman aboard, then Plouffe would be the tying run at the plate. Crowd on their feet, 21,000 here for the finale this afternoon. And it's ball 4, and the tying run will indeed come to the plate here in the 9th inning for Minnesota. Trevor Plouffe, who is 0 for 4 on the day, will be the batter. Doman takes off. He goes down to second base. No defensive resistance offered there. Now Gomes and Perez going to go over the strategy here.
Never easy, is it? I don't care how you look at it. They get the extra run. You get the first 2 outs and then a walk, and it brings a tying run to the plate. And he has had very good success against Chris Perez in his career.
At the knees, a strike called. Fouled back by Plouffe. And now Perez and the Indians just 1 strike away from taking the series. An absolutely gorgeous weekend weather-wise for baseball. The Indians dropped the series opener, but they came back to win last night 7-2. They lead it now 3-1 here in the 9th. And the 1-2 pitch just a bit outside to even the count. The Indians looking to go 7-2 on the year when they lose game 1 of a series in series play. So you lose game 1, but chance to come back and win the series for the 7th time. And there it is, a called third strike ends the game. The Indians take 2 out of 3. They go to 71-59. And the Indians are now 9-3 on the year in the rubber game of a series as they hang on to win this one 3-1 the final. Joe Smith gets the win. He's now 5-1 on the year as Chris Perez nails down his 21st save of the season. And Baltimore, who was really taking it to Oakland, as that score holds up, the Indians would be just a game and a half back of the A's now.
Very nice.
In the wild card race. Time now for our key play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, Drew Stubbs, what an afternoon he had. He walked the first 3 times he was up, and he got on top of a high fastball. Drove it to straightaway center field. They knew it in the bullpen. That coming off of Burton, and boy, it couldn't have come at a better time to give him that 1-run lead. Drew Stubbs, get a free Kindle Fire HD when you sign up for a new checking account. Some restrictions apply.
A beautiful Sunday comes to an end with the Tribe in front 3-1 the final score. They win the series, and now an off day tomorrow before going to Atlanta to open a 3-game series against the Braves. We're back with a final word on this one right after this time.